Every single morning at sunrise and every single night at sunset, he says his name. His name is an onomatopoeia. You remember that from grade school? Yeah, here's his name. Oh, good boy, Quigley. That's his name. He's at the brink of extinction, but in my lifetime, this guy has made a comeback to the point where we have saved them. We have saved this species. No longer an endangered species. 5 million alligators back in the wild. How cool is that? Yeah, we've done a good job, I know. You could be very, the movies like Night at the Museum make those monkeys look fun. Friends, they all make monkeys look like they're so cool. So then people figure out a way, it's against the law here in California, but they figure out a way to go get them.
Driving down the road and she saw an opossum crossing the road and she tried to stop her car. It was too late and she hit that opossum. It was an accident. She didn't mean for it to happen. She felt terrible. She got out of the car, walked over and saw that she had hit and killed an opossum. Well, just before she drove off, she started thinking very smartly. She had heard somewhere that opossum, they're marsupials. They're related to kangaroos, and that means they have a pouch, a pocket that they carry what? Their lunch to school. No, they're babies, you're right. She had heard that even if a mother opossum is dead, I say caribou. Kind of fun to say, isn't it? This is the Arctic deer. Huge, huge herds of these deer up in the Arctic Circle. This guy might wander from Alaska, the tip of Alaska, down into Canada every year. 1,500 miles in a herd as large as 500,000 animals. And then you know what they do? This is Whizzer, and he is the turkey vulture. What a cool creature. You know what? He has a life I'd like to have. He gets up in the morning, first thing he does, he spreads those big wings. He sunbathes. He goes, the sun feels so good. Once he's nice and warm, he takes off his perch. He flaps his wings once or twice. He becomes like a glider. You might see him soaring high overhead. Big, lazy circles. They look lazy. They're actually working. They're smelling. He's there going, he's taking in as much wind as possible. And when he smells something really stinky, something really rotten, something that smells totally disgusting and gross and has been dead for a while, you know what he says? Lunchtime. That's what he eats. He eats carrion. He comes down the sky, he lands on top of the carrion, and he starts to eat. And he eats and he eats and he eats. He'll take so much food and put so much food in his vulture belly. Do you know he's too heavy to fly? He will gorge himself so full, he can't get off the ground. You know what? That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's say you're a vulture. You've eaten all the food, and a coyote also smells the carrion. And the coyote comes running across the field. The coyote's, I'm not dead yet. And then, the kite is getting closer and closer. At the last second, right before the kite gets him, you know what he does? Very important survival tool. This bird can throw up whenever he wants to. The kite gets closer and closer. The bull says, boo. Sure, he goes hungry. Better to lose your lunch than lose your life, don't you think? He sure thinks so. It's amazing. She's a lot like us. She's smart. She lives in a family group called a troop. She has hands just like we do. 4 fingers and an opposable thumb. She even has opposable thumbs on her feet. She lives in a family group and has a language. She has certain calls or sounds that mean certain things, like a certain sound that means